Good morning, everybody. Last day we had studied about the basic properties of electric charges. In those, we had studied the like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. It means there is a force of attraction or repulsion at between them. This force of attraction or repulsion can be found out with the help of this Coulomb's law. So we have to study about the Coulomb's law today. And this force of attraction or repulsion is known as electrostatic force or Coulomb's force. Okay. So first of all, we have to write the statement of Coulomb's law. According to this law, Coulomb's law, the force of attraction or repulsion between 2-point charges at rest is directly proportional to product of the magnitude of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. It is known as Coulomb's law, and this force is known as Coulomb's force or electrostatic force. Now we have to derive this electrostatic or Coulomb's force. For this we are taking 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 are at rest at the point A and B, which are separated by a small distance small r. According to this Coulomb's law, the electrostatic force between 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 is directly proportional to the product of the magnitudes of Q1 and Q2 and inversely proportional to the square between them. This F force is directly proportional to, after combining these two equations, F implies this, F is directly proportional to the product of magnitude of Q1 and Q2 upon R square. Now we replace the sign of proportionality and we have to use a constant at this place. That constant is known as constant of proportionality and known as Coulomb's constant, where K is the constant of proportionality and it is known as Coulomb's constant. The value of this Coulomb's constant K equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, and this is equals to 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Here we are using a new term, that is epsilon naught. This epsilon naught is known as absolute permittivity of free space or vacuum or air. It means for all these three its value remains same, and its value is 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. In place of this air, vacuum or free space, if we are taking any medium, so at that time in place of epsilon naught we have to use epsilon m. In place of air, vacuum or free space, you are taking any medium between the point charges. At that time the electrostatic force between them will be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon m product of magnitude of Q1 and Q2 upon R square, where epsilon m is the permittivity of that medium which is used in between of 2-point charges at rest. Now we have to study the definition of permittivity of a medium or material. So note down the definition. The ability of a medium or material to permit the passage of electric lines of force through it is known as permittivity of that medium or material. It is denoted by epsilon m. After this, there are two conditions. Due to that, we can identify the force will be attractive or repulsive. First condition, if Q1 into Q2 or Q1 into Q2 is greater than 0, that is the like charges are like charges, then the electrostatic force between them will be repulsive force. कैसा होगा? Repulsive force और repulsion force. Second, if Q1 Q2 is less than 0, it means the product is negative, or this is possible when the charges are opposite, means charges are unlike. Then the electrostatic force will be attractive force. Study the definition of permittivity. You can write this definition. The ability of a medium or material to permit the passage of electric lines of force through it is known as permittivity of that medium or material. So we have to denote that by epsilon m. You can understand this definition. We know this thing, every material has the ability how much amount of electric lines it will allow through it, or that ability is known as permittivity of that. After this, we have to study about the vector form of electrostatic force. This derivation is not so important, but there is an important question is here. With the help of this we have derived that does Coulomb's law obey the Newton's third law of motion? So with the help of this derivation we have to prove that. Or this question is very important for board exam because it has come so many times in board exam. So in this case we are taking 2-point charges Q1 and Q2 which are at rest at point A and B. We know that if we want to find out the force on Q1 due to Q2, this force will be along this line, or this force is noted by F12. And if you want to find out the force on Q2 due to Q1, so this force will be along right side, or this force is noted by F21. Here R12 and R21, there are two vectors. Both the vector has same magnitude, but there is a change or difference between these. This vector starts from this point A and up to this point B, and this vector R21, it is starting from this point B and reaching up to this point A. This is only difference, means both are same in magnitude but just opposite in direction. So first of all we have to find out the electrostatic force on Q1 due to Q2. This force F12 will be equals to KQ1 into magnitude of Q2 upon R square. For making this side vector form, we have to multiply it by unit vector, and we know that unit vector equals to that vector upon magnitude of that vector. This will be equal to this, and we know that r12 vector r12 and vector r21, the magnitude of both vector equals to r, because these two vectors are in between point A and B. So this can be written as like this. Put this value here and we can write F12 means force on Q1 due to Q2 equals to K Q1 Q2 into vector R21 upon R2. Similarly, the force on Q2 due to Q1, this force is noted by F21. Or this will be equals to K Q1 Q2 upon R square into unit vector R12. K Q1 Q2 vector R12 upon R2 by this formula. Here you will see both the charges are positive, so there is no meaning of this magnitude to continue. You can remove if the charges are positive. Means whatever it is positive or negative, you have to take the magnitude. Magnitude means positive sign. So you have to take positive sign and product of that. Here negative or positive charge. Show this thing, if one charge is positive, other charge is negative, it means their product will be negative, or that force will be attractive force. If both the charges are positive or negative, so at that time the product will be positive and force will be repulsive force. Now these are two equations, but we know that unit vector of both when R12 cap equal and opposite to R21 cap, or we can also write vector R12 equal to minus vector R21. It means both the vector are same in magnitude and opposite in direction. So we can put this value in equation second. This we can write vector F21 equals to K Q1 Q2 upon R square. In place of this R12 we are writing here minus R21 cap. So we can take this minus sign outside and we can write this is equal to this. It means both the forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So the both forces, Coulomb or electrostatic forces between both the charges are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction on each other. It means it is just same. One force is action force, other will be reaction force. It means it is obeying, it means it is proving this thing. It is obeying the electrostatic force, is obeying the Newton's third law of motion. Because in Newton's third law of motion, you had studied there are two forces there. One force is action force, other is reaction force. Both the forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction, and both acts on two different bodies. That's right. It is the proof of electrostatic force is will obey the Newton's third law of motion. Now we have to study about the electrostatic force between two charges in terms of their position vector. For this we are taking two charges Q1 and Q2, point charges at rest, which are located at point A and B. Their position vectors are R1 and R2 with respect to origin. In this case, the force on Q1 due to Q2, this will be force F12. And the force on Q2 due to Q1 will be F21. So we have to find out the electrostatic force on Q1 due to Q2, that is this force F12 will be equal to K Q1 Q2 upon this distance square. You are taking here magnitude, whatever this is AB or BA, the square of both will be same. There is only the difference of direction. So this is BA square, and we know that vector R1 to that, this is the unit vector, or this unit vector is multiplied to make it this side vector form. This unit vector will be equals to unit vector R21 cap equals to vector R21 upon magnitude of vector R21, and we know that BA equals to R21 because this BA is starting this point and ending with this point. So this is R21. You can represent like this. This is R21 vector, or this is vector R12. So you put the value. So we can write this F12 will be equals to K Q1 Q2 into vector R21 upon whole cube of the vector R21, and we know that the value of R21, because this is a triangle, this vector and this vector, so this vector plus this vector equals to this vector according to triangular law of vector addition. It means this is equals to this minus this. So in place of this we can write R1 minus R2, or here the whole cube of the magnitude of vector R1 minus vector R2. So in this case this is obtained due to the triangular law of vector addition. Suppose you want to find out the value of this vector R12. This R12 is starting from this point A and ending at point B. So this vector and this vector will be in same direction. So sum of these two will be equal to this vector. So this vector will be equal to this vector minus this vector. That's why. So this is the equation first. Similarly, the electrostatic force on Q2 due to Q1, this force will be F21. This force F21 will be equal to K Q1 Q2 vector R12 upon magnitude, whole cube of the magnitude of vector R12. Put the value. This R12 will be equal to R12, R2 minus R1. So we put the value and we get this. Okay.